I'm going to get straight to it. Give yourself a pat on the back. You've been through so much. Not too many can go through and handle the stress, and not too many could pass the test. Now, I first want to say, bear with me. There's a lot going on. Construction. I think it's some little get-together party. So if you hear certain noises and you know how the devil like to distract, um, I want to say I'm proud of you. If no one haven't told you, I'm here to tell you that I'm proud of you. You know, don't let these people make you feel different from being who you are. And just because you may not fit in their circle, or you won't sell your soul, or you won't try to, you know, be someone who you're not. See, they despise your authenticity. They despise your realness. You know, they've tried to humiliate you and humiliate you so many different times, and they have. And you took it like a professional. You took it like, a ascended master that you are. Yes, we all go through things when we feel emotional, we get angry, mad, sad, etc. When we are on this realm of hate, this realm of, learning, this realm of hell, there's a lot of joys too, but this is definitely a place where a lot of suffering happens, a lot of confusion, a lot of discrimination, etc. But you have to take it as a learning lesson, just overstand not to continue to make and repeat the same mistakes, you know. But I'm proud of you, you've came a long way and you still got more to go, but you have made it beyond, you know, stages where they never thought you would even make it this far. They never thought that you would, be able to make it to the levels that you've reached. And to yourself, you may feel like you're just being you and you don't even realize how much you've overcame because you have become so accustomed to gossip, pain, not to say that, we do experience happiness as well, but it's a lot of struggles and it's a lot of, you know, roadblocks on the road to self-discovery, trying to understand who you are so you can know where you're going. But I'm proud of you because even in the darkness, you shine bright because you are the light. Never let anybody tell you that you're not special. You know, we are special in our own kind of way, but you are special in a whole nother type of way. And they know it. It's a sad thing that we're living in a world where people are going to pass judgment on you and they're going to despise you just for being who you are. But never let anybody tell you who you can be and how far you can reach. You're limitless. Anything you put your mind to, use your imagination. Even if you feel like you're in hell, use that to take you to another place like outer space. You have all the tools you need to fix any problem. You are that problem solver. Just know. And even myself, I get enraged and angry until I have to have an understanding that even the ones that call enemies are nothing as worse as the enemy. Because when you have an understanding that you are your own biggest enemy. And that's not to say you don't have the agents and agents and bots and trolls, their job, they're just here to do their job. And sometimes I forget to not take it personal. And sometimes I take things personal. You can't take it personal. You got to take it like, okay, I got goals. I got a mission. I got missions to accomplish. And as much as I got these missions to accomplish in life, then their job is to stop you. But in reality, it's really to empower you. It's really to bring out that dormant DNA, that powers that's inside of you. And it comes out through the struggle, through the pain, you know, because a lot of these entities and certain individuals have sold their soul for fortune, fame, and to live good. They want to be anointed. They want to be chosen. They want to say what's so different about you and them, but they don't want to go through the fire. They don't want to go through put in all the hard work, but they want to reap the benefits. That's the difference. That's the reason why this narrow road is not for everybody. It was designed for you. So you can't pay attention to what the outside world do or how they look at you. You know, they say lead by example, and that's true, but let even your mistakes, you know, teach others not to go and make the mistakes that you have done. See, when you're an individual that's been through so many things like you have, you can tell a person, and most individuals will listen to someone that's been through it. You know, like what better to hear from a person that's trying to stop drinking than an alcoholic, a person that used to be an alcoholic. But if you never drunk or had a drinking problem, and I'm having a drinking problem, how you going to tell me about that problem better than someone that's been there and done that? So take it from me. You know, you may be going through what they call the dark night of the soul, or feeling like everything is against you. It is, and it's a test. You know, you are never alone, and you are highly guarded, even as an earthly target. Keep going. You are amazing. There's nothing you cannot do. In every questions that you seek, the answers is inside of you. You know, I'm out. 111's the guy. I own us. Like, comment, subscribe, share, hype up the video if you like it. And if not, I hope that this video, you know, uplift someone. Or not just someone, but one is okay, 2, 3, etc., you know. And I don't need nothing. You know, it makes me feel good to know that even through my struggles, I can brighten up somebody's dark day, or let you know that you are worth something when the whole world is constantly telling you that you are worth nothing. You know, to let you know that all your hard work are not gonna go unnoticed. Just keep your eyes on the prize. And I know it seems very hard to survive when you feel like the whole world is on the opposite side. You are never alone. You know, you are admired. You know, so just keep on going and just know everything is gonna fall in place. Just know that. Don't believe, just know. They tried to bury a seed. Now watch it grow. Once. I'm out. 13.